Now at 5, potholes plague main roads in central Indiana. But some are having even bigger problems with potholes on side streets and alleys, as you can see. We look into what's being done to keep you safe.
Sunshine dominates now, but when thunderstorms return and the severe weather threat.
The massive cleanup effort continues in Pendleton 8 days after an EF2 tornado ripped through the town. But life goes on, and so does a beloved tradition.
Also new at 5, a controversial petting zoo could visit one Indiana county. We look into former complaints and what's being done to make sure this petting zoo is safe.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
The city doesn't care. I've complained and complained and complained, and taken months to do something. Sometimes it don't get done.
First at 5, potholes continue to be a problem in central Indiana, and in some cases, they cause dangerous conditions for drivers on main roads.
But for some in Indy who rely on those alleys to pull out of their garage or even their driveway, they're facing potholes that they tell us look like craters at times, and they're not getting fixed. RTV6's Paris LaBelle is digging into why this remains a big problem.
It's hard to see just how bad they are, but if you stand on top of this plank here, you can see how deep these potholes really are. On the east side of Indianapolis, just before Irvington, in the Christian Park neighborhood. Take a drive down the alley, and it's more than a little bouncy. Huge potholes that were more like craters line the alleys in the neighborhood, and some people we talked to say it's causing them to bottom out their cars. And it's not like they can avoid them. Families who live in the neighborhood rely on the alley to access their garages or parking pads every day. They say they've reported it to the Mayor's Action Center multiple times, but it's been going on for years, and they keep getting worse, and nothing has ever been done.
Yep, it's still bad. You have to like swerve and go like in people's yards. Well, you see, I drive a truck, so it's very bumpy, very bumpy. It's bumpy truck, but it's even worse with the alleys.
Coming up at 6, we take the concerns from this neighborhood to the city to see what's being done. In Indianapolis, Paris LaBelle, RTV6.
And now at 5 o'clock, we are taking a live look at the Indy pothole viewer. This is all in real time. Right now, there are more than 5,500 unfilled potholes around the city. Those are the red dots you see right there on your map. You also can ask to report potholes around Indianapolis. You can do so by calling the Mayor's Action Center. That number, 317-327-4622, or by using the Request Indy website or app.
Moving to weather now, we are tracking the possibility for thunderstorms. You can see a little bit of activity west of Indiana on the RTV6 radar, but locally it's still a nice evening out there. A pretty nice day so far, Kevin.
And that's the way it will stay. The thunderstorms are west of the Wabash, in most cases west of the Mississippi River. We've got time, that's what I'm saying. We're at 79 now. We made it to 81 this afternoon. It's still in the 80s in Terre Haute, 82 degrees, and Muncie as well. Through the evening hours, you notice that breeze. It will calm down a little bit, but we've had gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour. Right now, it's a strong south wind, keeps our temperatures up, delivers some humidity, which is fuel for these isolated thunderstorms we expect later on. Just to build your confidence, no showers or thunderstorms in central Indiana right now. When we're 0 for 4 as far as June is concerned, no rain officially in Indianapolis so far this month. That'll likely change overnight. Temperatures will still be at 70 or warmer at 11 o'clock tonight, and then our rain chances go up overnight. 11 o'clock, the gray of cloud cover. Here come the showers and thunderstorms in the early morning hours. Possible they'll wake you up before your alarm clock. We'll talk about the rest of your Wednesday and look ahead at a wet and more active pattern.
And of course, we have the tools necessary to keep you safe during storms. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory, Kyle Mounts, Todd Clausen, and Alyssa Donovan are always posting what you need to know on the RTV6 app. Plus, you can download the Storm Shield app, which will also alert you to warnings and watches. Both apps are free.
That app came in very handy last Monday. The town of Pendleton, as you can see, still recovering 8 days after that EF2 tornado just tore through the Madison County town. There's the damage. The cleanup, as you can see, still continues, but the storm is not stopping the town's annual festival. Volunteers helped clean up Falls Park, which was littered with fallen trees and debris after the tornado on Memorial Day. And now the park is set for the June Jubilee. The festival is a welcome distraction from the challenging week there in Pendleton. At this time last Tuesday, residents worked to clear out storm damage across Pendleton left on homes, cars, and power lines. A lot of progress has been made since then, but crews are still restoring power. However, the town's leadership tells us it will be several weeks before streetlights are back on because those, for them, is a low priority. Officials had to take special measures to bring power to the festival.
We actually brought in extra generators to make sure that it happened so that we didn't have to take light and electric workers away from restoring power to our residents.
The June Jubilee kicked off today and goes all the way through Saturday.
A controversial petting zoo might be coming to Brown County. Right now, Zoopolis is located in Bartholomew County, but the owner wants to move her 100 animals to a larger area. She already owns 5 acres in Belmont, but needs to get approval from the county to change the zoning from residential use to general business. Tomorrow morning, the Brown County Commissioners will hold a hearing to decide if they want to approve the zoning change or not.
I have received more letters, actual written letters to the office, in addition to emails, phone calls, than any issue that we have dealt with in the last 5 years.
My biggest concern is that it's a public safety issue for people.
Some are fearful if an animal were to get out or carry disease, and recently the zoo had to change their age policy after a baby was accidentally injured by their hybrid wolf. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from the petting zoo owner explaining this incident and the positive impacts she says her business has on the community. And if you have a problem and need help getting answers or results, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Just into the RTV6 newsroom, the former Florida deputy who failed to confront a gunman during last year's Parkland school massacre, we're told, is now under arrest on 11 criminal charges related to his actions. That's according to the prosecutor's office there. 56-year-old Scott Peterson faces child neglect, culpable negligence, and perjury charges that carry a combined potential prison sentence of nearly 100 years. Peterson, then a Broward deputy, was on duty as a school resource officer during the February 2018 shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, but never went inside while the shots were being fired. 17 people died, 17 others were wounded in that attack. Developing tonight, the FBI has conducted several raids in Muncie there in Delaware County. Call 6 Investigates has been told that the raids are tied to 2 unrelated cases. One search happened at a business near Willard and Hackley Streets. The Muncie Star-Press reporting that the raid is connected to a long-running investigation of Muncie Mayor Dennis Tyler and the city's sanitary district.
Police are still looking for suspects in a shooting that left a woman dead and a man injured. This happened late last night on the west side. Metro Police tell us 47-year-old Stephanie Harris was found at 34th and Auburn Road, and officers say she died on the way to the hospital. Then just down the road at 30th and Lafayette, officers found a man who had been shot. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Officers say the shooting may have started as a fight. And tomorrow, the city of Indianapolis will unveil its summer crime prevention plan. Mayor Joe Hogsett and Police Chief Brian Roach will provide details at 10:30 at the Wheeler Dow Boys and Girls Club, located in the 2300 block of 30th Street. The announcement comes as law enforcement is trying to curb a recent spike in gun violence. Still ahead on the Now Indy at 5:30. Big changes are for pharmacies across the country. They're doing more than just filling your prescription drugs. Some will offer health services. Our Scripps team goes to work to find out what you can expect.
But first, on the news at 5, the new way you will soon be able to pay for many city services. And all it will take is a touch of a couple of buttons. We'll see what happens with that service. Kevin?
And it's all about timing for thunderstorms. We'll have a round in the morning tomorrow, and then in the afternoon, we'll see more development. I'll finish this timeline for you coming up.
350, Rallies and Checkers. Best foodies know the deal.
Welcome back to the news at 5 on RTV6. You will soon be able to pay your traffic tickets, parking citations, and more at one of 3 kiosks across Indianapolis. The Indianapolis City County Council approved $36,000 to purchase 3 kiosks. One will be placed at the City County building, another on the east side, and the third on the west side. Kiosks are to help people avoid late fees if they can't make it to the City County building before it closes, a city official said. The long-term goal is to allow people to pay their IPL and Citizens Energy bills there.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is all about connecting you with jobs. And a new store in our viewing area is set to open later this month, and they're still hiring. Apparel and home decor store Gordman's is hiring for multiple positions at its new Castle store. You can apply online. That link is on the RTV6 app and our website, theindychannel.com. By the way, the grand opening celebration is Thursday, June the 27th. It is a major effort to provide a meal to those facing hunger. Today, Gleaners Food Bank and Mayor Joe Hogsett kicked off the 5th year of the CARE Mobile Pantry Summer Program. The pantries will serve between 60 and 70,000 people who are food insecure at 71 distribution sites this summer. Today's distribution happened at the Kroger parking lot on West Michigan Street, but here's the complete schedule moving forward this summer of the CARE Mobile Pantry Program. On Mondays, it will be at the Mount Zion Apostolic Church on East 38th Street. Tuesdays, at the Kroger parking lot on West Michigan Street. On Wednesdays, at the Save-A-Lot on East Washington Street. Thursdays, the mobile pantry will be at the Christ Our King Church on North California Street. And on Saturdays, it will be at the North United Methodist Church on North Meridian Street. This program runs all the way through August the 24th.
A traffic alert for anyone who drives in Fishers. Allisonville Road between 116th Street and 126th Street is closed due to a gas main break. The closure is expected to last through the evening rush hour. You need to find a different way. Again, Allisonville Road is closed between 116th and 126th Street in Fishers.
It is the end of an era if you used iTunes to download all of your music. Apple is phasing out iTunes, which changed the way we all consume music. The company says that iTunes will be replaced by 3 desktop apps called Music, Podcast, and TV. It is similar to how these services are already divided on iPhones and iPads. Apple debuted iTunes 16 years ago to manage digital music for the iPod, which paved the way for the iPhone.
If you are a bargain hunter, you know it can be frustrating to go to a sale but find everything sold out. So who got the goods before you? John Mattery shows us why it might be shoppers on the other side of the world, so you don't waste your money.
When Target recently put Vineyard Vines merchandise on sale, it sold out in no time. The same thing is happening at TJ Maxx and other chains anytime they put a hot line on sale. Well, it turns out the people snapping it all up may be in China. The hottest new retail trend is called Shop Shops, live streaming of a sale in a TJ Maxx or Target store. So why haven't you heard of it? Because the shoppers watching the sale are in China. The Wall Street Journal just reported on this Chinese shopping app where thousands of people 12 time zones away are watching and making offers on clothing, makeup, and jewelry bargains in American stores. Think of it as a Chinese QVC show out of your local TJ Maxx or Target. The host takes orders and then rings up thousands of dollars in sales. Which leads to the Doesn't That Stink file, how the arrival of Shop Shops could mean fewer sale goods for you. If that jewelry or those wine glasses with cute words on them are gone in an hour, you may say, doesn't that stink? In some cases, the entire store's supply can be gone by the time you get there. Bottom line, if you hear about a hot sale on a designer line, act fast, because you may not be just competing with local moms, but with shoppers in China, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Mattery for RTV6.
So beyond buying a gift for me, Kevin, and Mark, and some of your other favorite people in the newsroom, Amanda, I have a question now at 5 o'clock. I'm going to put you on the spot. This is recorded. What would you do with $475 million besides give us gifts to your favorite people?
Try to get ahead of all those shoppers that are getting on that Chinese app or whatever it is. But it is just a hypothetical question, right?
That's right. But for someone out there, it will be a reality. Who will win the $475 million? Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is now just estimated at that amount. Best of luck.
Well, the next drawing is tonight, so you must buy your Mega Millions ticket by 10:44 this evening. Mega Millions tickets are available at Hoosier Lottery retailers.
Now listen. Play responsibly and don't bank on winning because, of course, Mega Millions jackpot odds are 1 in more than 302 million. But you could be that one, so give it a shot.
Dream.
Yeah, but don't overspend your money. You now only have 3 days left to help a Greenfield boy get his creative artwork on Google's homepage as the Google Doodle.
Sean Fannin is a 3rd grader at Weston Elementary School in Greenfield. He is in a national contest called Doodle for Google. Now he needs your votes to become one of the top 5 national finalists.
For his doodle, he had to finish the sentence, "When I grow up, I hope ... And so he wrote he hopes to be an engineer, and he said he likes to build with Legos. Now voting runs through this Friday. Again, if Sean Fanning gets enough votes, his doodle will appear on the front of Google's homepage. Let's do this for Sean. Let's do this for Greenfield. Look for this story on our homepage, at theindychannel.com for a link to vote. I should know that. I almost said hiring Hoosiers. I always say hiring Hoosiers, but it's about Sean. Let's vote for Sean. Okay.
Let's get some good-looking artwork there.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. We look forward to a lot of different things within the 7-day forecast. Some dry weather as well. Always need that. Temperatures, they're in the low 80s in a couple spots. Terre Haute's at 82, 84. Down in Bedford, Indianapolis sits at 79 now, and the humidity's still not too bad. Say hello to Winston. Bill Stanich sent in this picture. Winston looks a little apprehensive. He's looking at me thinking, do I want to go on a walk with this guy? You do, Winston. We'll have a great time. It will be brief. Temperatures upper 70s. It's a dry walk this evening. As we get late tonight into the overnight hours, that's when our shower and thunderstorm chances increase. Family fun. 9:52 tonight. Go outside, look to the northwest. It'll appear about 30 degrees above the horizon. The International Space Station will fly over tonight, clouds willing. There's the big qualifier, and it will pass well above the horizon before disappearing 4 minutes later in the east-southeast. It appears as a steady white light, and 4 minutes is a good amount of time to just kind of lock onto that and track it across the sky. 1 o'clock in the morning, clouds firmly in place. Showers and thunderstorms develop to the north. 4 a.m., a broken line from Terre Haute to Lafayette, Kokomo, and Peru. Still scattered thunderstorms first thing in the morning. Any one of these would produce some heavier downpours of rain. The overnight threat for severe storms is low. Higher threat back into Illinois. As we go through the day tomorrow, though, the threat shifts over all of central Indiana. Tomorrow, chance for rain 70%. I think we'll have these early morning showers and thunderstorms. Then another round tomorrow afternoon and evening. That daily chance continues, although it's fairly low Thursday and Friday before coming back up over the weekend. Highs tomorrow, low 80s. That should sound familiar. Thunderstorms in the morning. How long they last and the cloud cover hangs out will impact our severe weather threat in the afternoon tomorrow into the evening hours. 1 o'clock, not much happening. Here comes the line at 4 to 7. This line may have some damaging wind and large hail associated with it, as well as heavy rainfall. Then by 9 o'clock, pushing south of the Bloomington to Greensburg line. Then we'll wave goodbye to that round of thunderstorms by 11 o'clock. Here's your 7-day planner. Again, some thunderstorms overnight into the morning hours Wednesday, then developing in the evening hours. Thursday, we take a break. Friday, small chance for thunderstorms. Chance for thunderstorms increases Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures are very consistent in the lower 80s.
Kevin, thank you so much. And the weather was perfect today for a surprise on Monument Circle.
And it was all for a great cause there. Check this out.
Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out.
Kevin, you know how to dance. A flash mob developed on Monument Circle to raise awareness about Alzheimer's and find a cure for the horrible disease.
American Senior Communities partnered with the Alzheimer's Association, Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders, and cheerleaders from Crispus Attucks Medical Magnet High School to put on a flash mob with over 100 participants.
Kevin, you could do those steps. I am confident in you. This large public display raised awareness for the Alzheimer's Association and its efforts to raise money for care, support, and research. What a great day for that event. We hope they were able to raise a lot of money for that cause. You've heard of Purple Rain at least the Prince Classic, but what about purple water? What? Out of the faucet. We'll show you what caused, this alarming problem when the news at 5 continues.
Keller and Keller.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 5 on RTV6. Do you love reality TV? Well, Court TV is back, and you can follow real court cases live 24 hours a day. RTV6's parent company Scripps brought back the network and now owns it.
And we need to get to Court TV's Julie Grant with big updates in the case of a former NFL star accused of rape, whose case is now in the hands of a jury. Julie?
Hello to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV. It is a huge day in San Diego in the case of the state of California versus former NFL star Kellen Winslow II. Closing arguments have been delivered, and now the jury is deliberating his fate. Deputy District Attorney Dan Owens gave a powerful closing argument, calling Kellen Winslow II callous, brazen, and a sexual predator. He told the jury that he was motivated to steal and told them that now you know what he has gotten. 3 weeks ago in the opening statements, we saw defense counsel put forth the idea that the evidence in the case would show consent. But today, the prosecutor pushed back hard on that notion in his close.
You've heard no evidence whatsoever to suggest that any one of these women consented to what Mr. Winslow did to her.
Kellen Winslow II is accused of 12 different crimes, 3 of them being forcible rape, and this is by 5 different Jane Doe accusers. Winslow has maintained his innocence all along and chose not to testify in his own defense, which is certainly his constitutional right. Stay with Court TV for gavel-to-gavel coverage of this compelling case. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Julie, thank you so much for that update. You can stream Court TV live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at courttv.com. So this is a bizarre and rather unsettling surprise. Just imagine waking up, going to turn on that faucet to notice some discolored water. I mean, some really yucky water.
Sometimes it happens, but you probably haven't seen water like this before. Yeah, that's bizarre. Hundreds of people in Coal Grove, Ohio woke up to purple water coming out of their faucets.
Yeah, this is really what the water looked like. And no, this wasn't caused by purple rain. The water treatment plant operator said a pump malfunction caused that problem.
So officials say the purple water could stain your laundry, but other than that, there's no real danger. People there have been told to run the water until the color goes away.
And hopefully that will go really away soon for those folks in that Ohio town. Coming up all new at 6, homeowners fed up with shingles flying off of their homes. Call 6 Investigates is working for you tonight to find out what's causing that and what the builder is going to do about it.
But first on the Now Indy, the temperatures are warming up. That means more motorcycles will be on the roads working for you. We speak with experts about what you can do to protect everyone on the road and potentially save lives. You're watching RTV6. We'll be right back
with all the details.
Topping our lineup here on the Now, your neighborhood pharmacy is becoming more like really the doctor's office. It is convenient. We're taking a look at some of the risks that come with it. And rent, it just keeps going up, but now there are companies that are offering to help you by fronting you the money, what you need to look out for with these kind of loans. And the struggle to afford prescription drugs, it is so real for so many people, but we're going to get a reality check today on where prescription prices are headed.
Thank you, Chris. This is the Now Indy on RTV6. I'm Amanda Starantino. We're seeing beautiful warm weather, and bikers say that means it's motorcycle season. And as more bikes hit the roads, our Erin Lish is working for you, speaking with the BMV and what they say can save lives.
Motorcyclists are involved in 2% of crashes, and a big problem is it adds up to about 13% of all traffic deaths here in Indiana. So Ride Safe Indiana is trying to raise awareness about programs you can take to better your skills on the roads.
I grew up with my dad riding, and so I grew up riding on the back. So I've always been interested.
A few years ago, Jenna Brown decided to get her own bike.
As fun as it is to ride a motorcycle, it comes with a lot of responsibility.
So she gained experience through Ride Safe Indiana's motorcycle safety course providers.
I think the most important thing I learned is being aware of my surroundings.
Data shows that with multiple vehicle crashes, the biker was at fault 40% of the time, while the other driver was at fault for 58%. Brown says for both riders and drivers to pay attention.
Always look more than once and double check those blind spots.
Those with the BMV say proper safety gear is essential for motorcycle safety.
Which means wearing a long sleeve shirt, a helmet, gloves, boots that cover your ankles so that if something happens, you're protected.
There are 18 locations across Indiana that provide these safety classes, from basic level to advanced.
When you're doing the safety classes, you're on a closed range, so there's no other traffic, no other environment like we're going to show you here today. So you're able to practice those things before you're in a real world situation.
Brown has seen some close calls, but says these classes have made her more alert and prepared while riding.
As a rider, it's your responsibility to make sure you do your best to make yourself known and seen on the roads.
Taking the steps to stay safe while enjoying the open road. Erin Lish, RTV6.
Thanks, Erin. And for drivers of cars, something to keep in mind as we see more bikes on the roads. Data shows the top unsafe actions by drivers is failure to yield right of way, unsafe backing, and improper turning. Kevin.
Let's go to the airport. You got a second?
I do.
Boom, we're at the airport. You're looking at the control tower. Maybe we'll get lucky, see someone take off or land. Our tower is relatively new. It was finished in 2005. It's 340 feet tall, and so I didn't really know how to compare that. I looked up Chicago O'Hare's tower. They're at 260 feet, and theirs is about 10 years older. And I'm looking pretty tall right now. Temperatures with wind out of the south at about 20 miles per hour in the upper 70s, 79, right down the line from Indy to Kokomo to Bloomington. Temperatures in the upper 70s, and that wind will stay out of the south tonight, bringing a little more humidity as well. We're dry across central Indiana. We'll stay that way till later tonight. There is a thunderstorm watch to the west, and the thunderstorms then slowly progress to the east. Our chance for rain goes up after midnight. There are your temperatures tomorrow. In the upper 70s is where we're at now. We'll be back in the low 80s tomorrow. Between now and 11 o'clock tonight, mostly cloudy, and 71 at 11.
The Arkansas River is in major flood stage right now, and more rain is in the forecast for this week. Our Chris Welch is in a neighborhood in Arkansas that is taking on several feet of rising floodwaters.
This week, the community of Willow Beach in North Little Rock, Arkansas is being tested.
I don't think you'll find a better neighborhood in the United States than this.
But right now, it's a neighborhood fighting off the rising floodwaters of the nearby Arkansas River.
This whole thing is like a war. You're just trying to see what your enemy's doing and where it's going and try to get out in front of it and stop it. If it gets through that defense, you try to do something else.
Jerry Yanker's weapons of choice?
It's like a sausage casing.
Plastic tubing filled with water and sandbags, forming a mini fortress around the house.
Strategy now is, you try to dam it off and contain it, so now you're just trying to pump it out of here faster than it comes in, and you can up to a limit.
He's rigged up makeshift pumps, and so far they've kept the water from getting into his house.
Give you all the sand you want.
But Yanker isn't fighting this battle alone.
There's 3 houses of us here. We're kind of like a crisis crew. You wake up and say, well, for me, here's my priorities for the day to get done. And then they'll come over and say, oop, pipe has rolled. We got to get over and sandbag it.
We put out the little email or the call in the morning, and before you know it, streets full of people and throwing sandbags.
Neighbors Kenny and Mae Morris, with feet of water in their yard, are part of that crew.
It's really humbled us.
Humbled, but feeling uneasy.
It makes tears come to your eyes to think about what's going to happen to a lot of the good neighbors and possibly to us. It's already happened to 5 or 6 neighbors down to the other end. I mean, they're inundated. It's in their house.
Their biggest fear now is a forecast calling for several inches of rain before Friday.
If we get what they're calling for, the whole neighborhood's in trouble.
It's like death by 1,000 cuts.
But Jerry Yanker's philosophy is simple.
All you can do is all you can do. If that ain't enough, then you lose it.
Reporting in North Little Rock, Arkansas, I'm Chris Welch.
All right, Chris, thank you. And just ahead in our lineup, your neighborhood pharmacy, it's becoming really more like a doctor's office, which is convenient. We're taking a look at some of the risks that could come with it.
New Meat Lover Slam is here. See you at Denny's.
You're watching the Now Indy on RTV6. IMPD detectives are investigating a report of an attempted abduction near an Eastside Elementary School. Investigators say that incident happened May 28th near Anna Brockhausen School 88 an elementary school in the Indianapolis Public Schools District. An IPS spokeswoman says the child was approached near a bus stop after the student got off the bus to go home. Records show IMPD responded to the 1600 block of attempted abduction investigation North Emerson Avenue to investigate an attempt kidnapping about 1 mile from the school. IMPD detectives are investigating and no arrests have been made. IPS wants families to be careful. The school district spokeswoman, Carrie Black, told us, quote, "On our end, we made sure to inform our families who live in the area to be extra vigilant concerning their children and to review the stranger danger safety precautions with them." The last day of school for IPS is Thursday, June 13th.
Let's start the news feed. Wildfires are burning 700,000 acres in Alberta, Canada. These fires have forced 11,000 people to evacuate. The National Weather Service says these fires, they are so widespread that smoke actually reached as far away as South Carolina. Storms last month in Texas led to around 100 young sea turtles being just left stranded along the Gulf Coast. Now, experts say the weather caused the flooding and waves just be too strong for these turtles. The good news here is the Texas State Aquariums released about 80 of them back into the ocean. Former President Jimmy Carter is staying busy at 94 years old. Carter now has tenure at Emory University in Atlanta. He has taught at the school for the past 37 years. Well, pharmacies are changing. They're no longer just a place for you to go and pick up your prescription drugs. Now they're really trying to tackle all sorts of health-related services. Annie Taylor's here with what you can expect.
CVS is just the latest pharmacy chain to add extra space for non-retail services. So the chain plans on adding a concept store called Health Hub. Now customers will be able to attend yoga and nutrition classes there and even see nurse practitioners for different types of health screenings and assessments. Now CVS plans on adding more than 1,000 of these health hubs by the end of 2021. Now Walgreens is doing something similar. They're only opening a handful of Village MD clinics for now. Patients can see primary care doctors who will focus on their long-term health. Walgreens claims that this type of clinic will reduce hospital admissions and trips to the ER by 20 to 45%. Now, all of this sounds pretty convenient, right? But health researchers tell the Associated Press they're afraid patients will stop going to their regular doctor altogether. This is especially worrisome for people who have more than one condition and rely on several medications. Doctors are also worried that drugstores may be more concerned with profits rather than healthcare. But at the same time, CVS says it's screening people that wouldn't have gone to the doctor otherwise.
All right, Annie, thank you. We have more to get to on our lineup. And when we talk about rent, let's face it, it is just going up. It seems everywhere you look. But now companies are offering to help you by fronting you the money. But we have what you need to look out for with these loans. More companies are offering benefits for people who might not be able to afford college and have to work full time. Today, Walmart expanding its college program. High school students working at Walmart, they can take free SAT or ACT prep classes. They also can earn up to 7 hours of free college credits through the company's College Start program. Now, after they graduate high school, they can earn a degree debt-free if they decide to keep working at Walmart. Now, Walmart also added more degrees that both part-time and full-time employees can earn. These degrees, they're in fields like cybersecurity, computer science, technology. Now, the program costs $1 a day, and new today, Walmart says it will also dish out a $1,500 bonus if employees with a degree graduate for the first time. This is for a program that they started last year. Now, this was a perfect situation for a Walmart legal business manager who was also a mother of 3. She had an associate's degree, but she did not want to take on the debt of getting her bachelor's, so she's taking an online course every 8 weeks through this program.
I've always been one of those parents that have told my kids how important it is to go to college, how important education is, and this makes it to where I'm no longer the hypocrite that's just telling them how important it is, but I'm showing them that it's important by doing it myself.
Now, other companies like UPS have a reimbursement program that starts the day you're hired. How about this one? Starbucks actually pays for an Arizona State bachelor's degree for baristas. Then you got Ford, Home Depot, Verizon, other big financial institutions also with programs like this. Now, when we talk tuition assistance, not only big for students, but it's also huge for parents. More than half of parents say they're willing to go into debt or sacrifice their savings to put their kids through college. The average person would take on more than $30,000 in debt, according to a new report by Country Financial. Now, the same adults say that they would also be willing to spend money that they don't have on academic services like test prep, private tutoring, and coaching for sports and other activities.
547, we found something else interesting here with our tower cam. You see the Falcon there on the left on that ledge? That's the Market Tower, Key Bank building. And then to the right, the white box, if you watch in there, that's a nest. And you can see some of the youngsters moving around there. But peregrine falcons in the downtown area, and we're spying on them. As far as the radar in central Indiana, I'm going to step out. We are dry across the state. We'll have an increasing chance for some showers and thunderstorms later tonight. All of that activity for now is staying west of the Mississippi River. Strong storms with a thunderstorm watch in effect there. The Hoosier State will have a marginal or low risk for strong storms overnight. It'll be a little higher tomorrow, especially tomorrow evening at this time. Damaging wind and large hail would be the main threat for many of the stronger storms. Temperature just under 80 degrees now. The humidity not too bad. When the dew point gets to 65, that's when you say it's humid. We're at 50, so that's not bad at all. Wind out of the south at 18. 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't know what time you set your alarm clock. Some of these thunderstorms may wake you up. There's not great coverage. Not all of us will see overnight thunderstorms during the day tomorrow. After the morning round, I think we see thunderstorms blossom in the afternoon and evening. That's 7 o'clock widespread, 9 to 11, starting to move south of a Bloomington to Columbus line. And again, some of those may be severe. Temperatures during the day tomorrow in the lower 80s, a little more humidity with those periods of thunderstorms. You definitely need to take the umbrella.
Let's start the news feed. Some concerns about a dietary supplement ingredient that could end up harming pregnancies. The FDA saying that the ingredient vinpocetine could cause problems like miscarriages. This is found in supplements that promise things like enhanced energy, cutting body fat, and increased cognitive performance. Good news here, we appear to have dodged a chocolate shortage for the third year in a row, supply outpacing demand. But there was some weather in some major cocoa growing regions that had raised some concerns about chocolate production. Bumble will soon be more than just a dating app. It is opening its own cafe and wine bar in Manhattan. Now, Bumble Brew is what's it going to be called, and it's going to open this fall as a cafe by day, wine bar by night. It'll be a place that people who meet, or people who match, they can actually go and meet up in person. This app had a similar themed pop-up location 2 years ago, and they say it was a big success. Rent prices across the country are rising, and now there's a new business that aims to help people make rent on time. Renter loans are a new payment option. It's kind of like a cash advance loan. Few companies will front your rent for you. Now, the interest rates, they are similar to credit card rates, so we're usually talking less than 20%, which it is more affordable than most cash advance loan rates that are out there. Now, some offer loans up to $16,000 with no interest for the first few months. Now, while the interest rates, they are still better than cash advance loans, one thing to keep in mind is that you're digging yourself into more debt. Financial experts say instead of waiting for when you're strapped for cash, you want to start an emergency fund now.
And so they have to have those cash savings so they don't have to go to a financial institution when they have this sort of precarious situation. They can essentially borrow from themselves at a 0% interest rate.
Now, other ways to help if you are tight on money, create a budget, but they say don't think of it like that. Think of yourself as a business, and any leftover money, think of it as a profit. And when you're looking for a place to live, big one here, make sure rent doesn't exceed a third of your income. Your financial situation gets really tight if half of your income ends up going to rent. Well, would you ever stay at a haunted hotel just for fun? Well, people visiting a small town in Colorado are doing just that, and Annie Taylor has a look inside this serial killer themed hotel where anyone can stay the night if they dare.
Welcome to Victor, Colorado. This is one of the oldest mining towns out west. Now, it used to be booming here, but over time, things have slowed down until recently when the old Monarch Hotel reopened.
And so this building was originally built as a saloon and brothel and casino.
It was labeled as the finest gentleman's club west of the Mississippi.
And I have been told that this would have actually been the gambling hall.
Contractor Adam Zimmerly bought the old Monarch late last year, began renovating and renaming it to the Black Monarch Hotel.
And when I first came into this building, people in the town immediately started telling me that building is haunted. And it became apparent to me that it needed to become an attraction.
Adam Adam decided to design rooms based around infamous serial killers.
This room we actually named and themed after H.H. Holmes, who built the Chicago Murder Castle in Chicago in 1893.
Also known as America's first serial killer.
So basically he was murdering all the guests at the hotel to steal their identity, to steal their goods.
Despite the creepy theme, you can see in each room the ornate detail kept from the past.
So the next room,
named after Elizabeth Batherley.
And she's actually famous for killing as many as 600 of her young female servants and bathing in their blood.
Opening last month, only a handful of people have stayed in the $100 a night hotel, but guests are already sharing ghost stories.
He said, well, yeah, we heard this woman laughing, we heard guys fighting, there was a whole party downstairs. I said, guys, there's nobody in this building except for the four of you.
Adam says it's not just the haunted hotel that will hopefully draw guests to Victor.
There's just something for me about waking up in the morning and looking out the window and seeing this little sleepy mountain town and seeing all the historic buildings, and it feels like a movie set.
While Adam still has more renovating to do, he's looking forward to restoring a piece of the past to create a future tourist attraction.
This is it. This is my haunted Colorado mountain hotel.
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
A little too creepy for me. But hey, all right, Annie, thank you. And still to come in our lineup here on The Now, the struggle to afford prescription drugs. It's a real issue for so many people.
We are suffering complications when we have to ration or when we can't afford to fill our prescriptions and take it for the amount that's prescribed to us. It's unacceptable.
Well, we're getting a reality check today on where prescription prices are headed next.